Good day, traders. Gakuna from Gakuna Trading. My discussion continuing our investigation of the screener, looking at errors and bugs we can fix. So we are gonna, this video we'll be looking at sorry guys, the indicators, the screener. We'll look at possible setups that presented themselves and how it traded. So we're going to start with the GBP card. GBP card closed as an FGD and a day zero. We come to our chart. Is that true? Was it an FGD? Was it a day zero? Yes, it was an FGD and it was a day zero. What do? You come to your chart, you mark peak formation low, day zero, peak formation low, peak formation high. They broke out of the high, they spiked the high. Okay, that's the high of the day. Okay, the zero. Okay, it took out the high, took out the low, closed above the previous close. This market then proceeded to make higher highs. Okay, we have a higher high. Okay, higher high on the inside is the formula for what? A dump and a pump. Okay, a dump coming out of that level in the US session. Second hour of the US session, you can see the pin hammer. Okay, this is the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at the 30 minutes. Okay, you can see the 30 minutes pin hammer engulfing for our buy low setup at CP at closing price. Okay, all right, that's it for peak formation high. They took out the high. Okay, took out the low, took out the high, took out the low, close as an FGD, an explosion to the upside. Okay, so GBP card FGD and the zero setup played out. The Euro card closed as an FGD and a 3-day setup. And whenever you see the screener present itself like this, you ask yourself why was it, why did the market show a 3-day setup? Okay, now let's look closely at that. All right, we had our low of week day 1, okay, which is our low. Okay, the market didn't break out of that low. If you look closely, they closed above the previous close. They spiked the high, they made a higher high. Okay, day 1, day 2, the market traded inside. Okay, an FGD close. Okay, a buy low setup presented itself. Okay, the buy low setup presented itself at 10 a.m. 9:30, second hour of the US session for the buy low setup, which took out the high of the day. That breakout of the high of the day triggered the 3-day setup that is on the screen right now. Okay, so day 1 Monday, day 2, day 3. Okay, we have low of week on Monday. Okay, we have a low of week. Did the market spike the low? No, they didn't take out the low. They take it out. You have to investigate. They did not take it out. So we have day 1 Monday day 1, day 1, day 2, day 2, higher high on the inside, made the higher high. Okay, they already made the higher high. Day 3 triggered because of the breakout. Okay, day 3 triggered because of the breakout. This breakout triggered day 3, the 3-day setup into the market. We want the highs and the lows to be broken. Okay, day 1 low of week Monday, day 2 breaks out of Monday's high, day 3 gave us a buy low setup in the US session. Higher high was already made the previous day for a dump and a pump, taking out the high of the week. Okay, which gave us a reversal back to the opposite direction. Now let's take a look at Euro USD. Close as an FGD and inside day. So let's see what happened on Euro USD. Okay, now FGD was an inside day also. An inside day, what's the definition of an inside day? An inside day gives 2 basic opportunities: false break reversals and a low hanging fruit trend continuation. So we can see it's also an FGD. So they triggered the low, put in a pin hammer. Okay, this is the 30 minute. but at 9 a.m. you put in a pin hammer, broke out of the low and filled immediately for a buy low setup to the opposite direction. This then will close when the market closed as a day zero, spike high, spike low, day zero on Wednesday. Okay, so inside day Tuesday, FGD closed and an inside day, and inside the FGD, a buy low setup presented itself to the upside. The Euro JPY closed as an FGD. Dead trade as an FGD? I think so. Yeah. So we had an FGD on the Euro JPY. The Euro JPY moves in Asia. So Asian traders were able to take this market in Asia, and then a little continuation in the US session. Okay. The continuation in the US session to the upside in the London session. So Asia traders got the buy low opportunity. Okay, this is the buy low opportunity from closing price. Okay, broke out of the high. Okay, breakout, pullback, continuation. A brief scalp trade for the London traders who took this market. A buy low of the day, low of the session opportunity if it presents itself. Okay, JPY FGD, you can see the setup here. Okay, FGD, low of week is in place, closes above the previous close. A buy low of the low of session setup presents itself. Okay, the Euro AUD. The Euro AUD had a 3-day setup. Okay, let's take a look at that 3-day setup. We had day 1, low of week, day 2 breaks out, day 3, a day 3 trend continuation, blowing off in the direction of the trend. We had higher time frame, a setup from the higher time frame coming out of this market. Okay, we have buyers in this market. This market closed as an FGW, first grain week, closed above the previous week's close. Whenever a market closes above the previous week close, an FGD, it puts in a low of month. We have the low of month right there. That's our low of month right here. Okay, at the edge of this box, our low of month closes above the previous close of the previous week. It's an FGD. After 3 days, we tend to see our buy low opportunity to the opposite direction. So within that pattern, a pattern within the pattern, a larger pattern, we saw our explosion. Okay, we'll be adding first green week, first red week into the indicator. We'll be adding inside week, inside months into the indicator. So Asian traders again, remember I always tell you guys, these pairs, the AUD cross pairs, the JPY and the NZD moves in Asia. Come in Asia if you want to trade. These are the pairs you should look for. The pairs AUD, JPY and the New Zealand dollar. All right, a day 3 blow off in the direction of that trend. All right, let's take a look at the Euro New Zealand dollar. Do I have that pair on my list? No, I don't have it. Let's look at the Euro GBP. Do I have it on the screen now? What did they close as? First red day. So let's see if we had a sell high setup. Right, first red day, see sell high of the high of session setup if it presents itself. We have our high of week put in place, closed as an FGD, as an FRD, a 3-session setup on Tuesday, which collapsed to the downside. This market continued in the opposite direction. So you can see lower lows being made on the inside. It's a formula for what? A pump and a dump. Okay, they broke out of the low, pulled back. I think we had major red news today. Lower low, keep pumping to CP and collapsing to the downside. This is not the type of market I would advise traders to trade on. All right, let's take a look at Euro Swiss franc. Euro Swiss franc closed as an FGD, but what happened? The market did not respect that criteria. Euro CHF Tuesday closed above the previous close, closed as a green day, but then we had a market that violated that terms, broke out of the high. Whenever a market breaks out of the high of week or a weekly level, it poses great opportunity. How does price behave on the day? How does price behave when they break out? The market will only do three things. What are the three things that markets do? They break out, they pull back, they reverse, they break out, they pull back, the trend, they break out, they pull back, and they go into a trading range. This market broke out and failed totally. So there was no ideal FGD setup on this chart. Now what I see here is even a 3-day setup, but we'll correct that with the programmer. It's a 3-day setup. Monday is day 1, Tuesday is day 2, trigger the high, Wednesday is day 3. Okay, low of week, triggers the high again, hits the high the second time for a collapse to the opposite direction. All right, Euro Swiss franc FRD. Okay, all right, let's take a look at Euro Swiss franc FRD inside day. Okay, was an inside day, and the first red day we had 3 peaks formed. We have, I think this is our Asian range. It should be our Asian range. 1, 2, 3. All right, Asia, London, I think this is the late hours of the NY session for a collapse to the opposite direction. So you can see 1, 2, 3, sell high setup, high of the high of session setup to the opposite direction. First red day is a sell high of the high of session setup if it presents itself. So the indicator was correct, FRD and an inside day. AUD JPY showed a 3-day short and a 3-day setup. Let's see what exactly the indicator got here. Okay, let's go. Day 1, day 2, day 3, correct. Day 1 short, day 2 short, day 3 shorts triggering into the market. We have 3 days of shorts triggered into the market and a 3-day setup in our new week. Day 1 shorts, day 2 shorts, and day 3 shorts triggered into the market. You can see that reversal in the Asian session to the opposite direction. AUD JPY, 3 days of breakout trade, that's correct. AUD card was an inside day. Where are you? AUD card, AUD card. Okay. AUD card was an inside day on Tuesday. We are just checking out this indicator to make sure that we are on the right track. Okay. Okay. The breakout of the high, was that a false break, reversal, or a blow off in the direction of the overall trend? Let's look at the direction of the overall trend. It's good to understand structure. The overall structure of the market is down. Okay, we're in a downward moving market, as you guys can see. We're in a downward moving market. See, we're in a downward moving market. So inside the blew off in the direction of that trend. Okay, inside the blew off in the direction of that trend. You can see closely. Okay, was it a false break reversal? I don't think so. No. So they blew off directly in the direction of the trend. They stayed out of balance and gave us our normal low hanging fruits, trend continuation out of balance in the London session. So we had the low hanging fruits out of balance, low hanging fruits out of balance to the opposite direction. Let's take a look at NZD. The NZD, I think the market just closed and opened up. NZD card yesterday. Okay. NZD card showed a 3-day setup. Now let's take a look at that. Okay, it's a 3-day setup. We had day 1 on Friday. Inside it does not count. Day 2 inside the first break reversal trigger. Day 2 and day 3. Monday is day 1, Tuesday is day 2, Wednesday is day 3. But the larger build up is in the ebook. This formation presents itself once again. Lower low on the inside is a formula for a pump. An execution in Asia, like I told you guys, NZD come in Asia, it collapsed to the downside. It stayed out of balance, low hanging fruit continuation in the London session. Low hanging fruit continuation. I missed this low hanging fruit blow off before we had our V bottom pattern at double zeros. If I'm not at closing price, I want to be at round numbers. Double zero, hit that spot, 3 levels of drop, 75, 50, 25 and double zeros, double zero, reversal to the opposite direction. The market will always move from double zeros to 50s or from 50s to double zeros. Now let's take a look at NZD USD. An indicator picked up what? An inside day and a 3-day setup. Also an inside day first red day. A sell high of the high of session, low hanging fruit in London, out of balance for the continuation. Okay, so 3-day setup and an inside day and a first red day inside day. In Asia, we had a blow off, pulls back to the breakout level, stayed out of balance in London, pin hammer engulfing, low hanging fruits for a quick scalp explosive move back to where the pullback began from. Okay. All right, guys. We had GBP USD FGD. How did they behave? GBP USD. We had the FGD. Did they play out? Yes, they did. They played out. And FGD also, the indicator picked up at the inside day. It's an inside day. We had a false break reversal in the USD London session. It collapsed to the downside. A false break again of the low. Took out the low for a buy low opportunity. Those traders who saw this pattern in the US session, the micro W pattern, exploding to the opposite direction. So a buy low of the low of session setup if it presents itself to the above side. So the market presented itself, and inside the FGD, false break reversal of the high, false break reversal of the low. A buy low of the low of session setup presented itself in the London session. And a continuation, this is the low of the day, this is the low of the session, for a continuation to the opposite direction. We also had GBP JPY. Do I have that market on my chart? No. Do we have NZD? NZD closed as an FGD inside day. What did they do? An FGD, an explosion in Asia. They stayed out of balance. They are currently out of balance. The buy low of the low of session setup took off in the Asian session. They broke out. How does price behave? What are the 3 things that markets do? They break out, they pull back, they continue in the direction of the trend. The indicator will always help you mark up your chart for possible outcomes of the market. Now we take a look at GBP Swiss franc. What did they do on the GBP Swiss franc? GBP Swiss franc. What was the setup? GBP Swiss franc was an FGD. Okay, didn't really play out, didn't give us the setup. But then what do? We come back again. We come back the next day and we look for parabolic setups. Okay, first red day on Monday. For Tuesday, sell high setup, first break reversal of the low, back in balance reversal. This market, I don't know what they're cooking, but let's see. What other market again? USD card showed an inside day 3-day setup. Let's take a look at that. Very choppy. We have major red news ahead. This is why this market is like this. Oh, sorry guys, if anybody struggled with this market, sorry. Very tricky. This is not the type of market we should look at. The faithful zone. Yes, it was an inside day, false break reversal, keep on hitting the high and coming to the opposite direction, not really giving us a parabolic move. Okay, so guys, this is just a video showing you how the indicator works with your instrument GBP JPY, how it works with your instruments, how it helps you mark up your charts and identify what you are looking for. We had an FGD which was indicated by the screener, very correct, same pattern, same chart pattern like the Euro JPY. Buy low opportunity, they broke out, they pulled back, put a pin hammer and continued to the opposite direction. So we have a market that has what giving us a setup for a 3-day setup. Day 1 low of week, day 2 breaks out. Tomorrow we can see day 3 reversal or a continuation to the opposite direction. But the markets keep going with you guys. The screener has been updated. We now have markets that close in breakout. Inside the 3-day setups, inside the 3 days of breakout traders can now be tracked by the screener, and more information to come. We have FGW, FRW, first red week, first green week coming. We have inside week, we have inside months, we have 3 weeks of breakouts, we have first red month and first green month. All opportunities will be presented in the screener. We want the community to experience one of the best development in the modern day. The markets keep going with you guys 1% better every single day. Thank you.